We continue
All right, we're gonna watch this.
to track the breaking news out of South America. Two powerful earthquakes have hit Venezuela, those quakes measuring 7.5 and 7.2. Pictures are beginning to emerge.
So, how devastating is 7.2 on the Richter scale? 7.5 is 7.2? How devastating is a 7.5 earthquake on the Richter scale? Let's just have a quick look. Like, I know the Richter scale is one of those ones that like go exponential. So, you hear 7.5 and 7.2, and it's a slight difference in number, but it's actually quite a significant difference in intensity of the earthquake. 7.5 is a major earthquake near the top of what the planet produces and capable of catastrophic damages, though how devastating it is depends enormously on circumstances rather than the number alone. First, the scale itself. The Richter scale is logarithmic, so the steps between numbers are much bigger than they look. Each whole number means roughly 10 times more ground shaking and about 32 times more energy released. So 7.5 isn't a bit worse than a 6.5. It releases something like 32 times the energy compared to a 5.5. It's over 1,000 times the energy. Worth noting, some seismologists don't really use the original Richter scale for big quakes anymore. It saturates and underestimates large events, so they use momentum magnitude instead. But in usual cases, Richter has struck around as the catch-all term. Okay. Let's continue.
Showing the extent of the...
So, one of the biggest quakes... What are the biggest earthquakes ever recorded? Let's have a look. Taking longer than usual, trying again shortly. Well, we can come back.
The people of Venezuela.
Here we go.
Damage in Caracas, while the U.S. Geological Survey is warning that casualties are likely high. Sarah Galashan is looking into this for us. What's the latest?
Yeah, so Lindsay, we're talking about two earthquakes that happened in quick succession, 45 seconds apart, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The first being, as you said, the 7.2, and then again, less than a minute later, you have 7.5. Now, I need to correct myself from earlier the hour. I had said that this was 5 hours ago. In fact, it was 2.5 hours ago. Just some confusion on time zone.
So, about 1 day ago, because of the 22-hour-old video, they're saying 2 hours ago. So about a day ago.
So it was around or just after 6 p.m. local time. There was these strong earthquakes, shaking felt, and reports of residents within the capital talking about the shaking that they felt within their homes. And the pictures that we're seeing here, they are showing extensive damage. Today was a public holiday, and the reason that's significant is you see the kind of structural damage that we're talking about here. Buildings clearly, if not just the facade damage, but walls coming down as well. And many people, because of the holiday, were at home at the time that this happened. What we are now seeing...
Wouldn't that, like, the danger from these large buildings collapsing, right? Like, that's where you get mass casualties, right? So wouldn't that be better if they were not in there? Or is it that the housing is considered a more dangerous place to be?
It is now 8:30 in the evening. Sun is starting to set, and emergency vehicles are out. It would presumably be in force based on the pictures that are coming into the newsroom as they are going to these sites of significant damage.
Look at that. That is crazy. From my understanding, like, this is a place that doesn't get earthquakes. Like, they were not prepared for this kind of thing. Okay, well, Claude's having a stroke. We'll try again. How common or rare are earthquakes in Venezuela? Like, let's have a look, because if you're in an earthquake zone, naturally there are higher building requirements to be able to withstand an earthquake that you suspect will happen. But in zones where you don't have quakes, like that can drop. Okay, maybe Claude is just down. Oh, did it start to write something? It did not. Earthquakes are relatively common, okay, in Venezuela, particularly along its northern coast and mountain ranges. The country sits right on a major tectonic boundary where the Caribbean plate slides eastwards relative to the South American plate at a rate of about 2 centimeters per year. Okay, so relatively common. Obviously, big quakes are not common, but like if they're relatively common, then that should have been built for. Which means this is just a super quake. What are the biggest known earthquakes on the Richter scale that have been recorded? Let's see what it comes up with. Sometimes the absolute biggest quakes. 9.5. Holy. 9.2. Alaska. 9.1 Indonesia. 9.19. Okay, so the magnitude was a couple steps down from the biggest, but clearly it's hit a susceptible area with just how much damage we've seen. Venezuela earthquake. Okay, we're gonna watch a couple of these after
damage, looking in through the rubble for anyone who might be injured, any survivors. At this point, Lindsay, we don't have any confirmed casualties.
What are we hearing from authorities?
So this is about a day old. A lot of casualties. We've got updates. This clearly, after 2 hours, they have not got a clear grasp of the situation. I hear thousands.
Sir.
So the Interior Minister has actually
was the last number I heard. Hey, it did work. The recent earthquake in Venezuela, what are the approximate casualty numbers?
Actually gone on state television to talk about this and confirming that buildings have come down and that homes have collapsed in the capital, in Caracas. And that is not to say anything of what has happened beyond the capital, but it is significant because that is a densely populated area that we're talking about. The U.S. Geological Survey has labeled this event, the two earthquakes, what they're calling a red alert for shaking-related fatalities and economic losses. This is a label that they would give to various events that would happen around the world, and they have in the past. What this means as a red alert, high casualties expected, extensive damage
so they know.
Probable in the disaster area and likely widespread. This is in part due to the existing economy as well as the vulnerable building types that exist in this area that has been hit by these earthquakes. And I will just say that past red alerts that have occurred around the world have either needed or required national attention or international help as well.
And Sarah, these pictures that we're showing now are actually live, and you can see, even though the signal is not overly clear, there are people moving with some urgency to try to do what they can, presumably to find and rescue people.
I'm sure, and based on what we are seeing and what we're reading, this is going to be something that's going. It's 8:30 in the evening. This is going to be going on well into the night.
Thank you for this, Sarah.
Multiple. Okay, so that was a quick look at the situation. Let's see what the info on casualties is like. As of the latest update on June 25th, 2026. I mean, this happened so recently. We might not get good figures yet. The figures are still being confirmed and are expected to rise, but here's where things stand. The confirmed casualty count is at least 188 people killed and 1,520 injured. Beyond that, at least 157 people are still missing, and around 3,000 families are impacted, with more than 200 people still trapped under the rubble and some 250 collapsed or damaged buildings. It's important to flag that the death toll is widely expected to climb significantly. The USGS, using predictive modeling, estimates the death toll that it would likely rise into the thousands and has a substantial probability of exceeding 10,000. More specifically, the agency estimates a 44% chance that the death toll could exceed 10,000 people and a 30% chance it could surpass 100,000? What? Okay, why is there a 44% chance of 10,000 and a 30% chance of 100,000? These are extremely different numbers. I feel like the chances here should be significantly different. I guess with how recent this is, like, these are just on the fly. This is what we expect from an earthquake of this size hitting this kind of population density, right? Death toll could exceed. I mean, I hope not, because that is crazy. And has issued a red alert indicating that high casualties and widespread damage are probable. What happened briefly? Okay, we went through that. 2 earthquakes. Let's see some videos of this.
Mierda, weón. Qué loquera, weón.
I mean, that looks like all structural damage, right? I mean, it could be an old apartment, or that could be, considering we've seen it on multiple floors now. No, that is recent. That's all recent. That's recent structural damage. Oh my goodness. Like, this whole building has to be condemned with that kind of damage to it, right? Like, that's all foundational structural damage. This whole building is going to have to come down and be rebuilt. And considering how many have collapsed, this is one that's still standing. And it looks like this. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know what it's like being above this. That does not look safe. There's a hole. You can see a car. Oh, yeah, you can see it on there. You can see a car down there. Like, that whole part's just fallen off. What is that?
Mierda, weón. Qué locura esta mierda,
I mean,
weón.
holy.
Acabó con el edificio.
What is this? Why is it getting worse the lower we go in this building? You want more there at the foundation, not less. I would be getting out of that building. Like, maybe that's what this guy is doing right now. Like, he is evacuating, because this does not look like it's gonna keep standing. Especially because, like, there's always aftershocks for these kind of things. Well, there's usually aftershocks. Sometimes they can be really light. Sometimes they can be almost as strong as the original quake. And this building will not survive that. Is it like you had stuff start to fall at the top and then it kind of brought more down as it collapsed? Because he's still going down here. And it's almost impossible at this stage.
Mierda, weón. Yo acabo de subir del
It looked like a
ascensor.
really nice building.
Acabo de entrar.
Like that is wild. Okay, they tell you and you don't believe it. Huge desperation, they escaped by the skin of their teeth of Venezuela. 1 hour, is this it? That's how okay, I gotta turn this down a little bit. This is too loud. Run! Run! Concrete is not made to shake. It is not made to shake. What do you do? Like you gotta keep moving. Okay, what's this one? While the earthquake measures 7.5 in Venezuela, 6.9 in Japan, and 7.8 in Indonesia. Terrified. What? 6.9. So Japan, from my understanding, is far more like they build far more earthquake resistant because it's a far it gets hit far more with earthquakes, but a 6.9 is still going to cause damage. A 7.8 in Indonesia? I mean, I don't think Indonesia is particularly... And again, remember, like a 1 point jump is like a 10-fold increase in shaking and like a 32 increase in actual energy that's been released. So the difference between Japan and Indonesia is actually significant there. Run! Whoa! Come back to track. Come on, get out. You gotta help your... Looks like an elderly mother, grandmother. Instantly runs the baby outside. That is wild. It's like they're on one of those ships. Have you ever seen the ship videos where you see everything moving crazy? But they're on solid ground. Readers add context. The footage in the video is from the 7.8 magnitude earthquake that occurred in the Philippines. So this... Okay, is this not recent? Okay, on June 8th. It is not related to the earthquake in Venezuela, Japan. Okay, so that's not... Do I gotta check that for all of them? This video is not from the collapse in Venezuela. It corresponds to a controlled demolition. Why are these ones getting so high? Causing significant damage and loss of life. The video shown is not real footage from the... How do I get real footage from the event? Venezuela looks like it was bombed after 2 devastating earthquakes. Pray for the people. This is really bad. Oh. That is wild.
Mira los delfines, mira, 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 mira. Sí, mira cómo se cayeron todas las paredes del frente. Marico, esto es muy impresionante, mira esto.
You can see cracks through all of them. Like, all these buildings are gonna have to be brought down and rebuilt. How many people have been displaced on top of how many died? This is actual footage, right? There's no context under this one. The 2 major earthquakes that just hit the great people of Venezuela are both massive in scale and have left a devastating number of deaths. The USA stands ready, willing, and able to help. I have instructed all agencies of our government to get ready to move quickly. We will be there for our new and great friends. Early reports are not good. President Donald J. Trump. I hear the runway was heavily damaged, which is how you could get aid into the area. So they're gonna use military to transport assets in to help. Venezuela, Japan, Indonesia earthquake map. Let's see if we can see a map of where this hit. The BBC. "13 hours ago." Yeah, this is gonna be the same stuff. Ooh. That is wild. Okay. Epicenter of the 2 quakes. They're probably focusing on these ones because of the proximity to, you know, the cities. Oh goodness, look at that. Severe, very strong. So the quake hit here. Are there any cities here? I'm guessing that these are the 2 biggest cities we can see. Venezuela map. So we have a city here, we have a city here. I mean, I guess there's towns all in here, and it was this area that was struck. Small city there. Small coastal town. Like, these are the places where it's going to be hit. Like this town. Oh, look at that sprawling city. Yeah, so are we down? So there's a lot of small cities and towns in here that have northern Venice literally already on Google Maps. Right there. Something tells me that is not a good place to be right now. And we're gonna get before and after photos of this place. Is that not able to do that in Venezuela? Well. Yeah, so the same spot that they put it here. That is, like, this is terrible. Can I see the Indonesia one? So these are fault lines, right? And so there's a fault line right on it. Network connectivity in Venezuela. Kind of goes up and down a little bit. Sharp drop. I want to see the Indonesia one was 7.8, right? So that was even stronger. But a lot of theirs happen underwater, which leads to, like, to large waves, but not the kind of devastation. One day ago, yeah. Clearly information is still coming in on this. And it looks like the severe devastation happened in Venezuela. Total destruction. You know, I always have to adjust the sound properly. Oh my word. It stays up. It stays up. We're good. We're good. Well, buildings swing like ragdolls during 7.5 earthquake in Venezuela. Moments after the first earthquake at Carcassonne, you can see the total destruction of the surroundings. This is only 8 seconds long. Well, this is right afterwards.
Se cayeron edificios.
You got fires.
Se cayeron edificios.
Carcassonne. So this is where did I put my map? Give me back my map. Here we are. Let me fix this. And so he's showing a video from here. And earthquakes dissipate very, very rapidly. Like, so the epicenter is where it's going to be the worst, right? And then you get concentric circles of less damage. So even here is significantly closer. Not to mention the town literally, probably farm or land over there. Not to mention the town literally on top of the quake, with littler towns all along the route. Like, that's close. What is that? San Felipe? That's a full city. Mine, and that's really close. So the video you're seeing is a lot further away than some places. I imagine we are going to get a lot of footage from this. Oh, I don't know if I can show that one. Rescue as a woman is pulled alive from the rubble after a devastating. Okay, she was fine. She was fine. Hopefully. Like you don't know if there's any kind of internal damage from being there. But like this is concrete. I mean, oh my goodness. They're on top of a concrete collapsed building. Look at that rubble pile. Like, that was probably a multi-story building. Inside a shopping mall at the exact moment. Powerful Venezuela. Okay, this sounds like a good one. We'll put there and we'll see. Everyone beelines it for the exit. That is good survival instincts. Go for the exit. This building looks like one of the a lot of modern design buildings can handle heavy quakes and stuff like that. It's really the older construction you're worried about. But then you never know, right? I mean, anyone could have cut a corner. But that one didn't really shake as much. Ooh, here we get a map. Just in, 6 powerful earthquakes happened in the last 24 hours. I heard about one in California. Okay, so I don't know what they were talking about the Philippines because that's not even on here. Yeah. So there was a 5.6 in California. 7.2, 7.5. Oh, they happened in different places. We can see one there. Where was the other one? I want to be able to see it. Oh, it even shows you the area it hit. The severely affected region. This was a 7.5 one. Where was the... So then we'd have to go left to get to the 7.2 one. Somewhere over here? No, because Venezuela ends like here. Okay, I don't see that one on the map yet. 7.2, 7.5. We got a 5.6 out of California, a 6.9 out of Japan. Philippines got hit by one, and New Guinea got hit by a light one too.
Yo.
Okay, this strikes me instantly as AI.
All hands.
There's no way.
Hoist the colors high. Heave ho.
There's no way. That one strikes me as AI completely. There's no notes on it yet. Yeah, that one's AI. I'm gonna say that plane leaving did not look. Okay. And LaGuardia collapsed with the families of a professional baseball team inside. Earthquake. Many did not manage to escape the collapsing buildings. The earthquake was devastating. El Guardi? La Guardi. Guaira. Yeah, and that one. So that's quite a ways. I guess that's right along the coast of the city we saw all the damage from, right? Because we were seeing videos from there. And so this, I guess it makes sense that also got hit really bad. The devastation covers this region. Let's have a look. Ooh. Stop driving, man. You're just plowing through there. I guess if that building was coming down, that's the one you want to be away from. Okay, let's keep going. This is how this early couple experienced the Venezuela earthquake. Look at those chonkers. Oh. Hopefully it doesn't get too... Oh my goodness. Cat took shelter. Okay, so this building might be fine. Which would be nice. You're joking with me, right? More than 11,000 people reported missing. I mean, we're still very early into this. So, like, take everything here with a grain of salt. We got no idea what kind of numbers there are actually going to be. Hopefully, not that high. Let's have a look at some of the aftermath. That whole building is gone. Like, that was an apartment complex of some kind, right? Look at that. That's a nice frickin' place. Man, I would not be standing where you are currently standing. Your building does not look safe to inhabit that. I would be getting out of this building. ¡Ayuda! This is how the earthquake was captured. We saw that one, actually. New York Press. Did they show us more? They were given the highest estimate. Strike fear of up to 100K dead. Hopefully less than that, significantly. Like 11K missing. But we got no idea how that reporting is done there, right? Like that's three. Like is that 3 different buildings that go down? Oh my goodness! So that's two large constructions that are just gone. Okay, so they do have more footage. They stay away from that one. That one does not look safe either. I'm guessing there's supposed to be walls on the side of the building that are just not there. Oh. Still collapsing, yes. That is terrible. Same footage we just seen. What is this one? Struck Venezuela. This is CCTV footage. So this is like a tattoo artist who's got his camera set up and he's got... They felt a little tremor there. Good idea. Instantly go for the door. And now you feel it. You see it coming now. I mean, like, that's an ideal situation. They all got out instantly. Right? Let's see how close they were. How much stuff shakes. They're not at the epicenter. I mean, still caused a lot of damage, no doubt. The issue we're gonna have is that any camera footage from the epicenter probably can't get out very quickly because, you know, devastation. And so what we're seeing is stuff from the outer side. This is where it happened, and we're seeing stuff from here, from the big city over here mostly. Because I imagine in here it's worse. Is this? Oh my goodness.
Marico! Mi mamá, weón! Mi mamá!
Turns his camera back around.
Marico! Marico! Marico!
Like, he caught that building collapsing. Again, I don't know if I can show that one. Joe just told those the earthquake that struck Venezuela released energy equivalent to about 260 nuclear bombs. Okay, we'll just skip that one. Venezuela was just struck by back-to-back earthquakes. The first one was 7.1 and then the second one was 7.5. Thousands are feared to be dead. This is incomprehensible. The entire world needs to rally around to support Venezuela right now. This was 21 hours ago, so this was very, very after the incident. We've seen this one. This clip is long enough that it might show more. Look at that. Oh, it's just going to be that clip again. Ooh, the craziest footage yet I've seen of from the Venezuela earthquake, praying for all affected by this. Okay, craziest footage yet. Let's see what it is. Airport. I heard the airport took damage. Lights came back. Something tells me you're gonna lose them though.
Ya. Ya, por. Afuera que tenemos. No sale de allá. Hermano, no. Fuera más peligroso, hermano. Por allá. Señores. Al puerta 4.
Yeah, I mean, like, looks like it got bombed. They're right with that. What? La Guaria. So right beside that city. Oh my goodness. Like, that can't be real, can it? Okay, that's their weird background music, not mine. Even the streets are devastated. We've seen this one. Okay, I don't know if I could show that one either. Rescued from the rubble. Okay, more of the same clips. That one's different. Shocking footage from the first minutes after the earthquake in Venezuela and the destruction scene. Okay. How do I get this clip? So this is one we've seen. Oh my goodness.
Esto solamente una partecita nada más. Desde donde venimos rodando hay escombros y hay casas tumbadas.
That's wild. We've seen that one. Like, this has happened in so many different places. Like, look, something tells me there should be more to this building. I don't know, but that building doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. Like, it's not wide enough. You know? I think part of that one's collapsed. Like, this is someone that seems like they're closer to the epicenter. Roads are still passable. but a lot of the buildings have gone down. What is that? Is it like a stairwell? It's defiant. Yeah, this is crazy. So I'm guessing that the collection of the the biggest event, the biggest one that we've seen. I'm gonna move on. This is still very very fresh, so more and more will start to come out about this. How is Canada helping earthquake relief in Venezuela? I actually, 10 minutes. I'm gonna watch this. Why am I not subscribed to them? That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna watch this, and then I'm gonna move on. Where's my time? Okay.
Are facing a disaster of almost unimaginable proportions.
So they should have far more of an idea of what's going on. This was 1 hour ago.
Powerful earthquakes just a minute apart have caused widespread destruction around the capital, Caracas.
Yep.
The 7.2 and 7.5 earthquakes struck Wednesday evening. Hundreds of buildings collapsed. More than 180 people have died. But with thousands reported missing, the death toll is expected to rise dramatically. Multiple countries and aid organizations are sending help. Here's Prime Minister Mark Carney speaking earlier.
I mean, like, this is one of the things about being a leader, right? Like, you've always got to be in a position to react to a situation like this. And so let's see how our leader does.
We are moving to provide humanitarian aid. We're working with our partners directly, and we will scale things as appropriate to move forward.
Okay, here to tell us more about Canada's response is Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand. Minister, we appreciate you coming in on a busy day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, David.
So it's $5 million in initial aid to the people of Venezuela. Clearly, based on what we know at this point, it's going to take a lot more than that. What more can we expect from Canada?
Well, Secretary Sarai and I announced $5 million to address the absolutely devastating impact of those two earthquakes. We are seeing schools, hospitals, infrastructure being completely leveled, leaving people without food, shelter, and the basic necessities of life. And so we wanted to just, 12 hours after coming into the...
Like, getting an aid package set takes time, right? So sending immediate relief, and then assistance with, like, recovery are two very different things.
Knowledge of this devastating set of earthquakes provide initial humanitarian aid that will be delivered by trusted organizations on the ground. We are also working with the Humanitarian Coalition.
It's like $5 million, very little considering the damage that we have just seen.
If there is a matching program set up, we will look at the possibility of additional tranches of aid, but we certainly wanted to...
Whoa! So the floors have come down on top of each other.
Get this aid out the door as soon as possible.
Okay, the matching was going to be my next question, because this is a common practice as Canada offers support. If Canadians want to donate to the Red Cross or a particular organization, you would match it up to a certain amount. So I know that's not part of today, but that is something you would consider?
Something on our radar, and we are working with other partners to determine how best to address further tranches of aid. Recognizing this is truly devastating. I've just returned from Panama, where the Organization of American States were meeting, and I put on the table the need to work proactively on issues of urgency. And strangely enough, here is one where we can work together throughout the hemisphere to address an absolutely devastating humanitarian situation. And so I've certainly been in touch with my partners about.
Given how they're not talking about what was it, Japan and the Philippines, I'm guessing their quakes, because the Philippines quake was stronger, but clear, did it happen offshore, or something? Because I'm not seeing any information about them, so it must have been less devastating in an infrastructure and lives count. And clearly the Japanese one was also less devastating, because everything we're seeing is about the Venezuela one.
How we can do more together.
So you say you're working through trusted agents, trusted groups. I mean, we're talking like the Red Cross, these sorts of things. I presume, and this is based on a point the Prime Minister made today in his press conference, the government of Venezuela is not a trusted agent. There hasn't been formal diplomatic relations since about 2019, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that
How
makes
does
it
that
hard.
complicate this process in terms of not having people on the ground, not having consular services? Because the Prime Minister said today this is something he has learned. It's a challenge.
It is a challenge, and so we are working with our mission in Colombia, for example, to ensure that humanitarian aid will be distributed and Canadians who require our assistance can be helped. We have about 800 Canadians who are registered in Venezuela.
Oh, really?
And as you say, the impact is devastating and the death toll could and likely will increase. The second possibility is for us to work with other countries. I was in touch with, for example, with Secretary Yvette Cooper, the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom, this morning, to put on the table potential collaboration between Canada and the UK in the delivery of aid,
Well, I mean, that's kind of what you want to do, is start collaborating. I imagine collaborating with the Americans is probably a good way of getting aid in there too, because they have methods of like transporting stuff. Like they were talking about using their military to bring in aid, so that might be a way of doing it. But again, 24 hours is not very long. Getting immediate humanitarian help out there
the possibility of
is the best you can do right now.
coordinating on logistics, and so that is
Well, we get an idea of the true extent of the damage.
what we are discussing. And the third point is additional humanitarian aid to be garnered and gathered here in Canada, as well as to be delivered through international organizations. So we're really pushing on all fronts, Secretary Sarai and I, and will continue to do so, given the need to respond to this absolutely horrific humanitarian situation.
The quote today, though, from the Prime Minister on the lack of an embassy and consular presence there is that it puts us at a disadvantage, first and foremost, to helping Canadians that are in these countries. And he expanded it from Venezuela, which is obviously in a very acute situation, but he also talked about Iran. And I know you've seen the concerns raised by the Iranian diaspora that there's been some suggestion that the government may look at restoring diplomatic relations with the regime. And I know the Prime Minister talked around that today, said he's making a general point about the disadvantage. And even if you did re-engage, it's not necessarily endorsement, but should we take this to mean that you're looking at countries like Venezuela and looking at countries like Iran and maybe going back to a consular, if not full embassy presence there?
We don't have plans to do so right now, David, but we do always want to serve the interests of Canadians abroad, and we want to make sure that we're able to distribute humanitarian aid. And so
Okay, I think we kind of get the gist of where they're at right now. So, like, what's happened's terrible. Of course, hearts and prayers go out to the families affected, the communities, the cities, by the looks of it. I'll probably keep looking at that one a little bit more, because like I'll follow up on it the next time I stream, which would be Monday. But I'm gonna move on.